You're watching WJZ TV in real-time closed captioning for the hearing impaired. This is Eyewitness News with Pat Warren, Kai Jackson, weather with Bob Sopka, sports with Chris Ely.
Ellen Sauber loses a round in court today.
A judge says her case will be heard as scheduled.
An Anne Arundel County judge let two of Ellen Sauerbrey's lawyers quit today, but he refused to reschedule the hearing on her lawsuit. The lawyers won't say why they quit, but Sauerbrey says they had philosophical differences, and the weekend team's Stan Saunders tells us a new team is already in place.
Today's hearing was no less than a changing of the guard for the Sauerbrey camp.
Frequently, there just isn't the right chemistry between an attorney and a client, or frequently there isn't the ability to get in sync in terms of strategies, theories, etc.
The old attorneys Lee Ellis and Richard Leon of a prestigious Washington firm exchanged greetings with Sauerbrey's new lead attorney, Jack Cabone of New Jersey, a man of few words when pressed for a comment.
When I said no comment, that means no comment.
Inside the courtroom, Cabone showed his more vocal side.
I have a problem when he says he's going to have taxpayers' dollars and employees' money being spent supporting Paris Glendenning. I have a problem, Judge.
Early on, lawyers for Governor-elect Paris Glendenning argued against a request to postpone the start of Monday's trial, in which Sauerbrey seeks to have election results overturned.
I don't think a delay in the trial of 24 hours is necessary or appropriate.
Soon afterwards, the judge's decision.
And I'm going to deny the request for the postponement.
All the parties to this case recognized at the time that the case was filed that the case had to be concluded in short order. Governor Glendenning is scheduled to be inaugurated on January the 18th. It is vital for the citizens. It is vital for the government for that inauguration to take place as scheduled.
Ellen Sauerbrey lost to Paris Glendenning by fewer than 6,000 votes. She's made repeated charges of election fraud and wants to be declared the winner or have Glendenning's victory thrown out. Question is, how much does the loss of her two former attorneys affect her case?
The two lawyers who have asked to be withdrawn are highly skilled and trained professionals, and so obviously their departure from the case is something which may affect the ability of presentation.
And yes, I'd like to get a little more sleep between now and Monday, but I do think that the work that Jack Carbone and all of his people have done since he came down November 16th, and the work that was done preliminary to that I don't think that really in any way significantly impacts our ability to present that, and hopefully Monday will prove me correct.
So you still remain confident from what I hear?
That's my sense, yes, absolutely.
In Annapolis, Stan Saunders for the weekend team.
But Sauerbrey's case has also changed a little since the suit was filed. She claimed 40,000 people had moved without changing their voter registration, but her lawyer says the number is now closer to 4,400, and the rest just didn't vote. The case begins on Monday.
Police are asking for your help in solving a drive-by shooting downtown today, leaving one person dead and another in the hospital. Police say this afternoon about 1:30, a car with 4 males were heading to a Georgetown basketball game when they were allegedly shot at by drivers in a dark blue 4-door car. It happened in the 1500 block of Russell Street. Authorities believe it was a foreign car with North Carolina tags. A woman with 2 male passengers was allegedly driving the car that fired the shots. A sorrowful goodbye today to an 18-year-old girl killed on New Year's Eve when her car was struck by an on-call city police officer. Family and friends gathered at the First Apostolic Church this morning for Valerie Taylor's funeral. Her car and the officer's car collided in an intersection in southeast Baltimore. Taylor's 12-year-old sister was in the car, but she suffered only facial injuries. Police investigators are still trying to determine what caused that accident.
Fire investigators say juveniles might be behind a fire in East Baltimore yesterday, and the family of the woman forced from her home in that fire is offering a reward to help catch those responsible. 89-year-old Naomi Wiggins had to endure the cold weather yesterday when a fire swept through her 3-story row home. The family is offering a $2,000 reward for information leading to the arrest and conviction of those who started the fire. Investigators say it was arson. Apparently, it started in a vacant house next door.
I understand that there was a fire Sunday night in the basement of the house, and it was a fire Thursday in the living room of the house, and then all of a sudden yesterday the fire started in the 3rd floor next door, which brought the fire over here to this house, and it forced her out.
One business was also damaged. Naomi Wiggins is now staying with relatives. Anyone with information about the fire should call the arson unit of the Baltimore Fire Department. In East Baltimore today, the rallying cry was "Stay Alive" in 95. The Eastern District Community Policing Unit got kids and parents in the area involved. Maryland ranks 4th in the nation in crime and violence in this country, and police are hoping to get more residents involved in their effort to make this a safer and happier year.
And our own Al Sanders shared his Saturday with a group of young people in West Baltimore. Al spoke to the group of Youth for Success this afternoon at the John Eager Howard Recreation Center. Youth for Success is a nonprofit organization that caters to the needs of inner-city children at risk. Al spoke about his experiences in the news industry and was rewarded for his positive influence with a certificate of appreciation. Congratulations to Al, yeah.
Still ahead on Eyewitness News, a battle of muscle in the Steel City. Pittsburgh and Cleveland face off in the AFC divisional playoffs, and Chris has your highlights in sports.
Another Ford Motor employee opens fire at a Michigan plant.
And a fatal shot of winter leaves at least 2 dead in North Carolina.
Of all the tools you can have around your house, what if we told you there was one that could actually make you more prosperous? A tool designed to do something new every time you pick it up. One which, with every use, could have an effect for years to come. That would be some tool. That would be Kiplinger's Personal Finance Magazine. For nearly 50 years, Kiplinger's Magazine has been the most versatile, no-nonsense tool for making the most of your money. What other financial publication can help you do so much, so practically? Lay the foundation for building wealth. Apply more leverage on major purchases. Shave down your tax bill. Construct a tuition fund. Expand your financial horizons. Every month, Kiplinger's Personal Finance shows you how to hammer out an investment strategy. Pare down your insurance costs. Magnify your yields. Call this toll-free number for your free first issue of Kiplinger's Personal Finance and a year's subscription at a special low rate. Call right now, and along with your free issue of Kiplinger's Magazine, you'll also receive these 3 guidebooks. They're like a whole financial tool chest filled with powerful ideas on investments, money management, and tax strategy. So call now for your free first issue of Kiplinger's Personal Finance. If you find it's a tool you can use, you'll receive 11 more monthly issues for this special low price. Otherwise, just return our bill marked cancel, owe nothing, and keep the first issue and the Smart Moves guidebooks as your gift. It's a no-risk guarantee. To receive this powerful financial tool right away, just use this tool right away.
Call toll-free 1-800-538-6500 for your free first issue of Kiplinger's Magazine with the financial guidebooks free. 1-800-538-6500.
For the 3rd time since September, an employee has opened fire at a Ford Motor Company plant. Police say 43-year-old Michael Bratton came to the Michigan plant early this morning and shot his estranged wife. He then killed her boyfriend and himself. Co-workers say Bratton was upset because his wife was divorcing him.
Well, they were a happy couple till, I guess, about 6 months ago. They started having some problems.
Did you know about the problems they were having?
I worked right with Mike, so yeah, I knew that him and Sandy were going through some problems, yeah, and then she wanted a divorce.
39-year-old Sandra Bratton was shot in the legs and stomach and is now in fair condition. Workers at the Ford plant are now receiving counseling.
Well, stormy weather is tearing through the southeast, leaving behind a path of destruction. The storms hit North Carolina hard, killing 2 people and causing dozens of injuries. There are unconfirmed reports of tornadoes touching down in several counties. Winds gusted up to 145 miles an hour, causing extensive damage. The winds and the heavy rains also knocked down trees and power lines. The same line of storms took its toll on Florida. A tornado swept through the northern part of the state, injuring dozens of people and destroying mobile homes. Residents say they saw a funnel cloud just before the roofs went flying off their homes and the furniture blew out into their yards. The rough weather is a remnant of yesterday's storm system that covered states from Ohio to Alabama with snow and ice.
If you're traveling the information superhighway, and you will be sooner or later, we have good news for you tonight. Channel 13 viewers with Prodigy can now use computers to access everything from CBS programming to David Letterman's Top 10 list. You can also interact with those of us here at Channel 13 and Here's how it works. To send email through Prodigy, our address is WJZ099A. Through the internet, our address is WJZ099A@prodigy.com. You can access us under WJZ on the CBS bulletin board. Sounds pretty interesting.
Can't wait to start getting messages.
Yeah, I'll have to try that.
Yeah.
I have my own address on internet, so
Well, then
of course,
you
yeah.
us.
We'll see.
We'll try it out.
Or tell us your address and we'll put it on the air.
I'll think about that. I could all use all the advice I can get, you know. So, hey, look, we had an exciting night last night, didn't we? With ice and cold weather and dampness, and luckily tonight's going to be nowhere near as exciting. We've got temperatures that are typical of the season right now, down around 40 degrees. Humidity's up there, 65%, northwest breeze, 5 to 10 miles an hour, and a rising barometer, 29.78 inches of mercury. While you look at your next Fort McHenry tides, here they are. Sunrise tomorrow morning at 7:26, sunset 5:01 on Sunday. Days are getting a little bit longer. We'll talk about the good bit of sunshine in the week, or in the days during the week ahead. We'll be back in a minute.
Don't get stuck behind the legal rights 8 ball. Effective legal representation is a must. If insurance companies were always fair, if you understood workman's compensation law, if you are injured in an automobile accident and understood your legal rights, you wouldn't need a lawyer. I'm Neil Lewis, and for over 25 years, I've been protecting the legal rights of people like you while recovering millions of dollars in damages. Call my Lewis Law Line, and let's discuss your case. I receive no fee, nor is there any cost to you unless we win.
Better be hungry for this one. It's a mighty mountain of grub. For a limited time, it's $1.99. Roy Rogers Monster Meatball Sub. Meatball so big I could holler. Marinara so good I could shout. Mozzarella hot and gooey. Ooh! Come on in and pig out. Roy's Monster Meatball ain't skimpy. Hustle up, don't waste your chance. This here's why God made taste buds and man made elastic waist pants.
The new Monster Meatball Sub, $1.99 now at Roy Rogers.
I bet you're here for the steak.
Yup.
And you must be here for the seafood.
Hey,
Well, we've got a special you're both gonna like.
Introducing 3 new steak and shrimp combos from Sizzler. Try a dozen scampi and a half-pound sirloin. Want a bigger combo? Add new almond shrimp. Want it even bigger? Add southern shrimp. Starting at $7.99.
Say, partner, you gonna eat the rest of that steak?
Hey, up.
Just asking. Sounds like Sizzler. Are you sure?
Messy last night, but today it cleared up. It was almost a complete reverse of what happened yesterday.
Yeah, during the day today, I thought while the sun was out, it really turned out to be quite a pleasant day. I mean, considering that it's January in Baltimore, Maryland, of course. But you know, last night was such an exciting night. That same system that you were talking about in the exciting weather and the tornadoes in North Carolina, at least possible tornado in North Carolina and Florida, that was our same system. So it was a big storm, and it's out of here now. That's the good news. Let me show you temperatures right now. It is cooling off from our high today, which did get to 50 degrees at 1 o'clock this afternoon. And then afternoon temperatures gradually settled on down through the 40s to where we're just about to drop into the 30s now. 41 is what our thermometer shows. Some areas, of course, already having dropped below 40 degrees. A little cooler out to the west, but a little warmer down to the south and east. Now, radar shows there's still a lingering little patch of sprinkles, I think, more than anything else. This really isn't heavy precipitation at all, but you can make out the remnant of the front that passed on through. Still some heavy rains down in the tip of Florida, although we have no reports of anything near the tornado activity and the very violent weather that was associated with this system yesterday. Satellite gives a vivid display of this low-pressure storm system passing on up. We'll let it loop through one more time. Here it goes. The center of the system carried west of the mountains. That's why we got enough warm air into the region to keep it from being snow in our area, but not enough warm air to keep it from keep us from avoiding the ice altogether. Last night, for instance, while we were at 36 degrees at 11 o'clock last night, Salisbury was at 55 degrees. So there was a lot of warm air nearby. Those of us in the Baltimore area didn't see enough of the warm air to avoid the ice. But there goes the system. There's the front offshore now. There are enough clouds behind it that tonight I think we're going to stay partly to mostly cloudy, but a ridge of high pressure to the center of the country is going to be in charge the next couple days. Big storm system out west will spin off a small disturbance, might give us a prospect for a flurry tomorrow. But the thing we're watching out for, I think the big story we'll see in the 5-day forecast, another influx of cold weather from the north is going to give us a rather chilly midweek period. Tomorrow we'll have seasonal temperatures. Normal high for this time of year is 40 degrees. That's right what we're looking for tomorrow. Should you be out on the water tomorrow, it's going to be a breezy day. West to northwest winds, 5 to 15 knots during the day, 1 foot waves, and the bay water temperatures in the upper 30s these days. For the rest of tonight, then, partly to mostly cloudy. It's going to be brisk. It'll be a bit of a breeze, around 23 to 30 degrees, the range for our overnight low. Plenty of sunshine for tomorrow, a seasonable high of 40 degrees for Sunday, so we'll get a good bit more sunshine for the weekend tomorrow. Then as we go on into the week, that little disturbance we talked about may give us a snow flurry, say, on Monday. Then the cool air floods in for the middle of the week. Again, temperatures in the mid-30s for a high, and then in the teens for the overnight low. That's a bit chillier than what we like to see. And then some clouds come on in Thursday. We may be looking at a precipitation event at the end of the week, but that's 5 days off. We'll worry about that a little bit later. Looks like a sunny Sunday, though. Pat, Kai, and Chris, back to you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Bob. Well, we're on a little bit earlier. Well, actually a little bit later than our usual earlier time. Eyewitness News on Saturday night is going to be on at 6 o'clock from now on, but we were a little late because of the basketball game.
Right. So we like it. Now, I couldn't make up my mind. Do I watch basketball? Do I watch football? I didn't know what to do
Come into Sports Palace and watch them all. We've got 3 monitors in there, plenty of room for you. While we get the popcorn all warmed up for the Maryland-North Carolina game, we got the highlights of the Towson State-Radford game coming your way. Also, we'll check in on the early semifinal game in the National Football League.
"6 p.m. and all is not well. It feels a little like 6 a.m. when you woke up with morning rest. Sure, you use Scope, but a lot has happened since then, including lunch. And those germs, they're back.
Hi, honey.
This time it's evening breath. Time to Scope again. Because Scope gets to the hard-to-reach places even brushing can't get to. Kills millions more germs than brushing alone and gets your whole mouth clean and your breath minty fresh, not medicine-y. When you gotta freshen your breath again, Scope again.
You're not going to believe these new Entenmann's donuts. The taste is pure Entenmann's. Lots of varieties, and they have 50% less fat. It's a donut miracle. New Entenmann's donuts with 50% less fat.
Enter WJZ TV's 1995 Black History Month Oratory Contest and win cash prizes. Deadline is January 31st. For an entry form, call 578-7571.
You're not going to believe these new Entenmann's donuts. The taste is pure Entenmann's. Lots of varieties, and they have 50% less fat. It's a donut miracle. New Entenmann's donuts with 50% less fat.
Life is a bowl of cherries. Good thing I have a spoon.
If you love fruit, you'll love New Breyer's blended yogurt. Cool, creamy, and loaded with fresh fruit goodness. It's the full of fruit yogurt from Breyer's.
She's not someone who shares her pain, but with working and being a mom, sometimes it's too much. When the pain lasts longer than the Tylenol, and when you've tried the Advil, that's when you ask your doctor what he recommends.
Introducing Aleve, a non-prescription strength of Anaprox, a fast-acting form of the medicine Naprosyn. Only Aleve has 8 to 12-hour dosing. It lasts longer than extra-strength Tylenol. Advil isn't stronger. New Aleve.
We're not going to let anything happen to her.
New Aleve. All day strong, all day long.
Well, Peter Angelos just isn't going to quit, is he?
No, he's not. Speaking of that, we were expecting that Peter Angelos was going to make some type of a bid for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this weekend, believed to be about $200 million. He is also getting in line with a couple of other possible investors down in Tampa Bay. That did not happen today. So far, nothing from the Peter Angelos camp on the purchase of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We may hear something tomorrow or more likely on Monday.
The main thing is getting through to those owners, right? Because they have the final decision.
Right. Peter Angelos can buy the team. The owners have to approve that sale, number one. Peter Angelos fully intends to buy the team and move it up to Baltimore. The owners have got to approve that, too. But we'll take it one step at a time. At least for now, Peter Angelos has not made that formal bid. If he does between now and 11 o'clock, we'll let you know at 11 o'clock. Let's go on to the NFL first. The Cleveland Browns at the Pittsburgh Steelers for the third time this season. This time for the AFC semifinals. The Browns hoping a third shot at Pittsburgh would be a charm, but a 21-point second quarter put Pittsburgh in the driver's seat. Former Maryland quarterback Neil O'Donnell whipping the pass over the middle to tight end Eric Green. Steelers on their way 10-0 into the lead. Still in the second quarter, the Steelers move right down the field, led by a touchdown from the 26-yard line. O'Donnell, quick handoff to fullback John L. Williams. Slowed at the line. He'll break out of it. Steeler fans are absolutely going crazy at Three Rivers. Their team up 17-3. And there was still more in the second quarter. O'Donnell, behind great protection from his offensive line, will find Yancey Thigpen from 9 yards out. Steelers led it 24-3 at the half. Went on to win it big, 29-9. Pittsburgh hosts the AFC Championship next Sunday. It's their first AFC Championship since 1984. In the NFC semifinal at the Stick in San Francisco, the Niners' Steve Young led San Francisco to 4 first-half touchdowns. They are rolling over Chicago 37-3 in the third quarter. Of course, coming up tonight, the biggest game to date for the Maryland Terrapins. The Terps in Chapel Hill to take on the 9th-ranked North Carolina Tar Heels. Maryland coming off an impressive win in their ACC opener against Georgia Tech. Now the challenge is to knock off the #1 team in the country.
We're very confident. We know where we stand as a team, and we're just going to be ready to, to play Saturday.
It's a challenge. That's part of the deal. In the ACC, you usually play 10 or 12 games against teams that are ranked in the top 15 or so. And so Carolina happens to be ranked #1 when we play them, so we can't worry about that. We just have to go play.
Gary Williams and the Terps will be facing an angry Carolina team tonight. That's because the Tar Heels lost their ACC opener at NC State on Wednesday. Terps and Carolina tip off at 9. We'll have highlights tonight at 11. College hoop here in town this afternoon. Towson State looking to make it 23 straight wins at home, taking on Big South opponent, the Highlanders of Radford. Towson State will be in the white uniforms. They move the ball around the perimeter. Then Ralph Blaylock finds Deshaun Robinson, pitching it down low to Stevie Thomas. The Walbrook graduate soft off the glass, but the Tigers down 7 at the half. They close within 1 early in the second, but that will be it. Radford's Chris Harvey rips the ball away, feeding Shane Weddle. Radford upsets Towson 71-68. The Tigers' record falls to 5-4. Radford also ended Towson's 15-game Big South win streak. Elsewhere, Morgan State stays winless, losing to South Carolina State 83-61. The Bison of Bucknell beat Navy 73-63 in their Patriot League opener. #2, UCLA struggled in beating Oregon State 87-78. #9, Arizona with a 15-point win over Rhode Island. And in the Big East, Georgetown topped Miami 71-64. NBA history made at the Bullets' expense last night in Atlanta. Lenny Wilkens became the league's all-time winningest coach when the Hawks defeated the Bullets 112-90. Wilkens unsuccessful in 3 tries to break Red Auerbach's record for most career wins. End of the first half, Hawks in white. Mookie Blaylock will have the shot from 40 feet, and it'll go. The Atlanta's on to win the game 112-90. Lenny Wilkens, the coach with the most wins in all of NBA history.
The nicest thing about all this is that I have received cards, letters, telegrams from people all over the world. It is a big deal, and I certainly am happy that I'm a part of this.
Lenny Wilkens will be honored before tonight's game. As for the Bullets, they have now lost 14-15. Washington home tonight against who host Portland. With the National Hockey League sticking with a drop-dead date of January 16th, league owners are meeting at this hour to decide if they'll tell the players to drop dead. The players have submitted a new offer. It is expected that the owners will reject it. Crowd of nearly 4,700 at the Baltimore Arena last night to see the Spirit take on arch rival Harrisburg. First period, heat up 6-2. Spirit in white. Kevin Sloan works the ball over to Brad Smith, punches it in from the wing. Spirit came from behind to beat Harrisburg 18-14, their 3rd straight win. The Spirit is in Dayton tomorrow. And in the meantime, the Baltimore Thunder indoor lacrosse team will be opening up their season against the Boston Blazers. That will take place at the fabulous Baltimore Arena tonight, and we will have highlights of that along with UMBC's basketball game and Loyola's basketball game tonight for you at 11 o'clock.
A lot of action.
Can't wait.
All over the place.
Okay. Turning our attention to weather. Bob says our stepping out weather will be nothing like last night. So, Bob, what's it going to be like?
Yeah, Kai, we won't have the excitement of the ice that we had last night. There'll be some clouds around. It'll be partly to mostly cloudy. Actually, not all that bad a night. Sort of a typical January night. 36 degrees will be your 10 o'clock temperature. Pat?
Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Bob. It was a cat lover's paradise today at Pikesville Armory. Cats of all shades and sizes invaded the Armory this morning for the 3rd annual CFA Cat Show. If you missed today's show, the felines will make a return appearance tomorrow at the Armory from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. but it's going to cost you. It's $5 for grown-ups, $3 for children. Wait a minute, $5 for adults who are not senior citizens, $3 for senior citizens. That's it for the early edition of Eyewitness News.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Kai Jackson. We'll be back right after 11 o'clock after Walker, Texas Ranger. We'll see you then.